A lot of people don't get these opportunities, and I just try to do as much as I can with the time I do get.
The Chicago Sky thought they had something. A young, outspoken star who racked up double-doubles like clockwork. A new era of women's basketball built around brashness, buzzwords, and branding. But all that glitter, it just got burned under the bright lights of Washington, D.C. because on this night, there was no TikTok clout. No media campaign strong enough to mask what happened on the floor. The Washington Mystics didn't just beat Angel Reese and the Sky, they embarrassed them completely unforgivably. Final score, 103-86. But the damage? It went far beyond the scoreboard. Angel Reese logged a stat line that looked solid at a glance: 22 points, 13 rebounds, 5 fouls, 11 free throw attempts. Another double-double, sure. Another feather in the cap of a season filled with personal accolades. But what those numbers didn't reveal was how little they mattered when the entire foundation around her crumbled. Again, because while Reese stuffed the stat sheet, her team got cooked, exposed, mocked. Even the broadcasters struggled to keep from laughing. And that's not hyperbole. That's the moment this superstar narrative fell apart. That started in the first quarter, when Shakira Austin gave the world a snapshot of what was to come. She scored right in Reese's face, turned around, and flashed a too small taunt on live national television. A subtle hand gesture, casual, cold, and devastating. And the announcers, they couldn't help themselves. They broke into laughter before awkwardly trying to hide it. But the damage was already done.
Teammates, I have a great support system. I got my hometown, I got my family that's there.
The message was sent. Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie, the so-called double-double queen, had just been posterized on defense in front of a national audience. And that was just the beginning. Washington didn't just beat Chicago, they outclassed them with two rookies who came in with something to prove. Sonia Citron, a name many casual fans didn't even know before tip-off, dropped 28 points and played like she was chasing down every doubter in the building. Kiki Urarifin, another rookie, added 22 points and 10 rebounds, giving the Mystics a 1-2 punch that completely dismantled the Sky's interior defense. This wasn't a fluke. This was basketball justice. The kind you feel in your chest when reality slaps narrative in the face. These weren't seasoned vets. Exposing Chicago's weaknesses were rookies. Rookies who played with more composure, more fire, and more defensive intensity than anything Reese has shown all season. These weren't just buckets, they were statements, the kind that leave coaches shaking their heads and fans heading for the exits early. So let's talk about that stat line again. Because yes, Angel Reese got her numbers, but they came on 6 of 16 shooting in a game where Chicago allowed 52 points in the paint. 52, a number that should scream failure for any player trying to anchor the defense, especially one who's built a brand on being the queen of the paint, on being tough, on being unshakable. Except she wasn't unshakable. She was exposed. The Sky have now lost 6 straight games.
Playing this sport, because it does stop one day, I'll be able to be set for life. And just being able to sit on money.
And they sit at 7 wins and 19 losses, miles away from anything resembling playoff contention. This isn't a slump, this is an implosion. This is what happens when your entire system is built around noise and not substance. And the longer it goes on, the more obvious it becomes. Angel Reese might just be making her team worse. It's a harsh reality. But look at the tape. Every game follows the same pattern. Reese gets her double-double. The Sky lose by 15 or 20. Fans keep searching for answers. Commentators keep asking when it's all going to click. In Reese, she keeps posting vague tweets, podcast clips, and cryptic messages about haters and clout. That brings us to the moment this whole saga tipped from embarrassing to downright absurd. 3-time WNBA champion Candace Parker, one of the most respected voices in the game, broke down the current talent pool in a tier list on her new podcast, Post Moves, with Olia Boston. She put Angel Reese in the seat. Cameron Brinkhand made it clear this wasn't personal. It was about who could carry a team, who could be a #1 option.
Now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And
who couldn't? Parker even praised Reese's rebounding, but called out her limited offensive arsenal and lack of impact on winning. And what did Reese do? She didn't tighten up her defense. She didn't lead a comeback. She didn't respond with a breakout game. She subtweeted, "Clout is one hell of a drug." That was her response to being evaluated by a 2-time MVP and one of the most decorated players in WNBA history, a player who has led teams, won titles, and carved out a legacy with grit and professionalism. But instead of taking it as constructive criticism, Reese played the victim. She reposted memes, accusing Parker of being bitter, claimed the media was out to get her, talked about being young, rich, famous, and beautiful. Everything, it seemed, except basketball. And that's the problem. While Reese is busy cultivating controversy, real stars are out there building something lasting. Caitlin Clark didn't need to subtweet her way into relevance.
We played in D.C. in the morning on a Tuesday.
We got back. I took my hair over.
She came into the league with expectations higher than anyone in recent memory and simply started making her teammates better. Lexi Hull, playing the best ball of her career. Kelsey Mitchell, thriving alongside Clark. Sophie Cunningham, hustling, defending, and doing the dirty work that actually wins games. The Fever went from laughingstock to playoff contender. Clark's not just the reason, she's the engine. Meanwhile, the Sky are sinking. And Reese's numbers, as flashy as they may seem, are just not moving the needle. Want proof? In the same stretch where Reese has racked up double-doubles, the Sky have allowed teams to score 100 points on them multiple times. They're not just losing, they're getting demolished. Opposing players are treating the paint like a buffet, and the effort, not exactly the accountability. Even worse, Coach Tyler Marsh even said it out loud after the loss to Washington. The interior defense is a major problem. That's not subtle, that's a message. And we all know who it's aimed at. So what happens now? Well, this guy can't keep pretending this is fine. They can't keep selling fans on promise and potential when the results look like this.
The past years, the numbers that they were giving us, I'm like, wow, like, I didn't know all this stuff, and now
They've got rookies roasting their starters. They've got opponents laughing mid-broadcast. They've got a defensive anchor who's busy defending herself on Twitter more than she is in the post, and they've got a 7-19 record to show for it. What's worse is that this isn't just bad basketball, it's bad culture. The organization made offseason moves like they were contenders. They brought in veterans, shuffled draft picks, and sold a vision that this team was ready to win now. But that vision collapsed under the weight of reality. This is not a winning culture. This is a culture of distraction, denial, and deflection. And Angel Reese, she's become the face of that failure. Not because she's untalented, not because she doesn't care, but because somewhere along the way, the narrative became more important than the scoreboard. The branding overtook the basketball. And now, every loss just adds fuel to the fire she keeps stoking online. Contrast that with the players Reese thinks she's on par with. Aaliyah Boston. All class. All substance. Quiet leadership. Toughness. And a rookie year that built the foundation for a winning franchise. Caitlin Clark. Literally changed the trajectory of an entire organization. Didn't point fingers. Didn't need Twitter beefs. Just showed up and changed the game. That's what real stars do.
just figuring it out. Trial and error. Don't feel like
The WNBA is evolving. Teams are learning that clout doesn't translate to wins. That flash without fundamentals doesn't last. That personal stats mean nothing when your team is getting torched every night. Reese might have the headlines now, but if the losses keep piling up, the narrative will shift. It always does. That at some point, the Sky will have to ask themselves what kind of future they're building. One where drama and distraction define the franchise. Or one where talent, teamwork, and maturity lead the way. Because right now, the answer is painfully obvious. So here's the question for the fans. Is Angel Reese helping or hurting her team? Do the double-doubles matter if the scoreboard keeps saying otherwise? And how long will the league tolerate spectacle over substance? Comment me bounds if you agree that it's time for change in Chicago. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild WNBA season. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.